Hello, friends. Are you ready to explore the fascinating world of Project A? Released on December 22, 1983, this film has sparked endless discussions, and today, we're bringing you all the hidden gems, stunning details, and unforgettable moments. If you enjoy this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps our channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more exciting movie explorations. Let's jump right in and uncover the magic together. Hello, friends. Are you ready to explore the fascinating world of Project A? Released on December 22, 1983, this film has sparked endless discussions, and today, we're bringing you all the hidden gems, stunning details, and unforgettable moments. If you enjoy this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps our channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more exciting movie explorations. Let's jump right in and uncover the magic together. When Project A first hit Hong Kong cinemas in the winter of 1983, audiences didn't quite know what to expect. Jackie Chan had already made a name for himself with films like Drunken Master and The Young Master, showcasing his unique ability to mix physical comedy with jaw-dropping martial arts. But Project A was something else entirely. A bold, genre-blending experiment set in a different time, with a different kind of hero and a whole new level of ambition. It wasn't just another martial arts flick. It was an epic, a statement, and perhaps most importantly, it was the beginning of something truly special. Set during the late 19th century in British-ruled Hong Kong, Project A unfolds in a city caught between colonial structure, local unrest, and rampant piracy off the South China Sea. The government, eager to maintain control and appearances, has established a marine police unit to combat the growing pirate threat. Enter Sergeant Dragon Ma, played by Jackie Chan, a loyal, idealistic, and endlessly persistent officer who believes in doing things the right way, even when it's the hard way. Dragon Ma is a man of principles, but is also scrappy, inventive, and more than a little reckless when pushed into a corner. The story wastes no time plunging us into the gritty, bustling streets and docks of colonial Hong Kong. Within minutes, we're swept into bar fights, police rivalries, and murky political tensions. But beneath the surface, something darker is brewing. Pirates, once considered a nuisance, are becoming bolder, more coordinated, and disturbingly well-connected. When a high-profile arms shipment is stolen and a fellow officer goes missing, Dragon Ma begins to suspect there's more going on than just rogue criminals at sea. The deeper he digs, the more corruption he uncovers, both among the pirates and within the police force itself. What makes Project A so compelling from the outset is how seamlessly it blends genres. On one hand, it's a historical action piece, complete with uniforms, ships, and period-accurate set design that immerses you fully in the era. On the other, it's an adrenaline-fueled martial arts thriller, packed with jaw-dropping stunts and expertly choreographed fight scenes. And layered on top of that is a dose of slapstick comedy that never feels out of place, thanks to Jackie Chan's perfect sense of timing and physical storytelling. Somehow, all these elements don't clash. They complement each other, creating a vibrant, unpredictable experience that keeps viewers glued to the screen. And then there's the cast. Jackie Chan doesn't just carry the film, he elevates it. His portrayal of Dragon Ma is one of those rare performances that feels both heroic and human. He's not some untouchable martial arts god. He's constantly thrown, bruised, chased, and outnumbered. But it's exactly this vulnerability that makes him so watchable. Whether he's fighting off three men with nothing but a chair and a rope, or escaping a burning warehouse by the skin of his teeth, you can see the strain, the sweat, the sheer willpower driving him forward. It's not just acting. It's full-body storytelling. Backing him up is an all-star ensemble of some of Hong Kong cinema's greatest talents. Sammo Hung steps in as Fei, a crafty thief with shifting loyalties and a complicated friendship with Dragon Ma. Sammo brings his trademark charisma and surprising depth to a character that could easily have been comic relief, but instead becomes a crucial part of the emotional and narrative arc. Then there's Yuen Biao as Inspector Tsu, a member of the land police who starts off as Dragon Ma's rival but slowly becomes an ally as the layers of conspiracy begin to peel back. The chemistry between the three leads is electric, sharp, funny, and deeply rooted in real-life camaraderie. Their fight scenes are masterpieces of timing and trust, and their banter keeps the film grounded even in its most explosive moments. Speaking of explosions, we have to talk about the action. Project A is a treasure trove of iconic set pieces, but none more famous than the clock tower fall. It's one of the most legendary stunts in movie history, not because of its scale, but because of its sheer audacity. Dangling several stories in the air, Jackie Chan lets go and freefalls through a series of cloth awnings before crashing to the ground. It's a direct nod to Harold Lloyd's 1923 silent film Safety Last, but with a modern twist. Jackie did it for real. No wires, no dummies, no tricks. He performed the fall 3 times, each one more painful than the last, until they got the shot. The result is a heart-stopping moment that still holds up today, a raw display of commitment that few action stars, then or now, would dare attempt. And yet, the stunt isn't just there for spectacle. It's woven into the story, part of a frantic escape sequence that builds tension organically. That's the genius of Project A. Nothing is thrown in for the sake of it. Every brawl, every chase, every death-defying leap is part of Dragon Ma's journey, and by extension, our own. The stakes feel real because they are real. You can see the danger in Jackie's eyes. You can hear the strain in his breath. And when he finally lands, battered but alive, you feel the relief with him. Beyond the action and comedy, Project A also offers a surprisingly nuanced look at loyalty, duty, and personal conviction. Dragon Ma's crusade isn't just about beating bad guys. It's about cleaning up a broken system from within. He's a soldier who questions orders, a leader who challenges authority, and a man who refuses to compromise his values, even when it costs him everything. That moral backbone gives the film weight and resonance, especially as the plot dives deeper into betrayals, hidden agendas, and moral gray zones. Watching Dragon Ma navigate this landscape, always trying to do what's right, even when it's impossible, is part of what makes the film so emotionally satisfying. Visually, the movie is a feast. The streets of old Hong Kong are brought to life with painstaking attention to detail, rickshaws, lantern-lit alleys, smoke-filled saloons, and colonial-era architecture that feels authentically lived in. The cinematography is crisp and kinetic, especially during the action sequences, where wide angles and long takes let the performer's skills shine. There's a kind of gritty elegance to the way the film is shot, never overly polished, but never sloppy either. Just real, raw, and alive. And let's not forget the sound design and music. The score, composed by Michael Lai, blends traditional Chinese instruments with sweeping orchestral themes, adding texture and emotion to every scene. The clashing swords, the thud of fists hitting flesh, the chaotic noise of a bar fight, all of it is meticulously layered to create a rich auditory experience that pulls you deeper into the film's world. As the story barrels toward its climax, the stakes escalate dramatically. Dragon Ma and his unlikely allies must infiltrate a pirate fortress, rescue hostages, and dismantle a criminal empire from the inside out. The final battle is a breathtaking set piece of ingenuity, desperation, and tightly coordinated chaos. Cannons roar, hand-to-hand combat breaks out across every level of the ship, and amid it all, our heroes fight not just for victory, but for a future they believe in. It's messy, emotional, and unforgettable. By the time the credits roll, one thing is abundantly clear: Project A isn't just a movie. It's a milestone, a revolution, a statement of purpose from Jackie Chan and his team that Hong Kong cinema could be bold, creative, and fearless. That martial arts films could have heart and humor without sacrificing intensity. That action could be art. The film's impact was immediate and lasting. It spawned a sequel, Project A Part 2, and influenced a generation of filmmakers around the world. Directors like Edgar Wright and the Wachowskis have cited Jackie Chan as a direct inspiration, and it's not hard to see why. He didn't just change the way action movies were made. He changed what they meant. He showed that you could laugh, cheer, and even cry in the middle of a fight scene, and that stunts weren't just tricks. They were storytelling tools, vehicles for character and emotion. Even decades later, Project A still feels fresh. Its themes of honor, friendship, and justice are timeless. Its action is unmatched. And its spirit, That relentless drive to push boundaries and do something no one else would dare is as powerful as ever. If you've never seen it, you're in for a treat. And if you have, watch it again. There's always something new to discover. A detail in the background, a subtle gesture, a clever bit of choreography that slipped past you the first time. So whether you're a die-hard Jackie Chan fan or a newcomer to classic Hong Kong cinema, stick around. We've only scratched the surface. There are secrets in Project A waiting to be uncovered. Moments. The film opens with a sweeping view of Hong Kong's harbour in the late 19th century. A time when colonial control coexists uneasily with local traditions and criminal influence is never far from reach. On the surface, the city seems orderly, modernizing under British rule. But just beyond the coastline, chaos reigns. Pirate attacks are on the rise. Merchant ships vanish without a trace. Rumors swirl of entire crews slaughtered or sold. The Marine Police, a separate division from the regular land-based police force, has been tasked with maintaining order at sea. Their uniforms are smart, their patrols rigid. But behind the naval discipline lies mounting frustration. The pirates aren't just bold, they're untouchable. And that's where we meet Sergeant Dragon Ma. Dragon Ma is introduced mid-chase, sprinting through the narrow alleys of the port, leaping over crates, dodging pushcarts, and vaulting through doorways with the effortless grace of a man who knows these streets like the back of his hand. Instantly, we know who he is: competent, focused, and driven, but not without a sense of humor. He corners a thief, only to find himself surrounded by more chaos, an entire dockside brawl sparked by rival sailors. This isn't just action for action's sake. It's a window into the world Dragon Ma lives in. Law enforcement is messy, unpredictable, and often undermined by its own internal dysfunction. It's not long before we're introduced to the Marine Police's strained relationship with the land-based police. Both forces claim jurisdiction over certain criminal activities, and their rivalry is more than just professional, it's personal. There's a brilliantly choreographed bar fight early on where the two groups clash under the haze of alcohol and wounded pride. Tables are overturned, chairs fly, bottles break, and amid it all, Dragon Ma tries to restore order, dodging blows from both sides. It's chaotic, hilarious, and surprisingly tense. This sequence does more than entertain. It sets the tone. Project A isn't just about pirate raids and heroic battles. It's about fractured systems, blurred loyalties, and the uphill battle of doing the right thing in a corrupt world. Dragon Ma's frustration becomes clear in the aftermath. The pirates are growing more daring, but instead of unity, the police forces are too busy bickering over turf. Adding to his growing disillusionment is the news that his superior officers plan to decommission the Marine Police entirely, citing inefficiency and poor results. This is not just a demotion for Dragon Ma, it's a betrayal. He's a man who's poured his life into protecting the waters, and now he's being told his work doesn't matter. He's reassigned to the land police, forced to swallow his pride and play by rules he's never respected. But Dragon Ma isn't one to back down easily. There's a fire in him, something you see in the small moments, like when he drills his fellow officers with intense precision, or when he fixes a broken compass on his own time, muttering about honor under his breath. He still believes in the badge, even when the institution falters. Then comes a turning point. A government arms shipment is hijacked en route to the military, and all signs point to the notorious pirate lord, Sammo. We haven't seen Sammo yet, but his presence looms like a ghost over every conversation. Stories circulate. He commands a vast fleet, has spies everywhere, and rewards betrayal with slow death. The idea that he's now intercepting government cargo isn't just alarming, it's catastrophic. Dragon Ma senses something deeper at play. This isn't just opportunism, it's strategy. Someone is feeding information to the pirates. But when he tries to push for an investigation, he's met with resistance and indifference. His superiors don't want waves. The colonial administration wants calm seas on paper, even if it means looking the other way in reality. It's here we feel the first real twist. The enemy may not just be out there on the water. They might be within the system itself. This tension escalates with the reappearance of Fei. A street-smart scoundrel played by Sammo. Fei is a master manipulator, a thief who wears charm like armor, and his relationship with Dragon Ma is complex. They grew up together, there's history there, but they've chosen different paths. Dragon Ma fights for order. Fei thrives in chaos. Their reunion is both amusing and loaded with subtext. Fei tries to swindle some rich patrons at a gambling house, only to be caught mid-con by none other than Dragon Ma himself. What follows is a cat-and-mouse sequence filled with comedic timing, rooftop park hour, and verbal sparring that crackles with chemistry. Fei eventually escapes, of course, but not before planting a seed of doubt in Dragon Ma's mind. You think the pirates are the real problem? Open your eyes. The Real crooks wear uniforms. Meanwhile, in the background, Yuen Biao's character, Inspector Tsu, is introduced with sharp contrast. He's from the land police, everything by the book, and he doesn't like Dragon Ma's impulsive methods. Their first meeting is cold, almost hostile. But what's interesting is that Tsu, despite his rigidness, is also dealing with political pressure. He knows something is wrong, disappearances, bribes, hushed whispers in back rooms, but he lacks the leverage or daring to act on it. He's a man trapped by protocol, while Dragon Ma is willing to burn the rulebook. This uneasy dynamic sets the stage for a reluctant alliance that will slowly form as the plot thickens. The story takes a darker turn when a government official is kidnapped, and the pirates demand ransom. Suddenly, Sammo isn't just a rumor, he's made his move. With no official naval force left to act, and the land police frozen by jurisdictional red tape, Dragon Ma takes it upon himself to intervene. He pulls together a ragtag team of former Marine officers, including his closest allies who've been sidelined or scattered since the unit was disbanded. These men aren't polished. They're scrappy, bitter, and some are downright broken. But under Dragon Ma's command, they find purpose again. There's a beautiful sequence where he trains them in secret, reclaiming their pride, preparing for a mission they know might never be sanctioned, but must be done anyway. Parallel to this, we get our first real glimpse of the pirates, and Sammo himself. It's a scene that shifts the tone entirely. We move from the urban chaos of Hong Kong to the lawless waters of the South China Sea. Sammo's base is a fortress, hidden in the mist, guarded by cannons and loyal men. He's not just a brute, he's a tactician. Cold, calculating, and disturbingly calm. He speaks softly but punishes ruthlessly. When a subordinate fails him, he doesn't raise his voice. He simply orders the man thrown overboard. This calm cruelty makes him infinitely more terrifying. He's a villain you don't underestimate, and his network runs deep. Back in the city, Dragon Ma's rogue investigation begins to bear fruit. He discovers that someone within the government is funneling information to Sammo, shipping schedules, patrol routes, even troop deployments. But before he can act, he's ambushed by a group of thugs in an alley. What follows is a brutal, close-quarters fight, far less graceful than the earlier bar brawl. This one's raw, desperate. Dragon Ma holds his own, but he's injured. As he limps away, we see something shift in him. This isn't about duty anymore. It's personal. That night, as rain lashes the rooftops, he meets with Fei in a quiet tea house. There's an unspoken truce between them, born of necessity. Fei has information. Names. Smuggling routes. Hidden docks where the pirates offload their stolen cargo. But he wants something in return. Protection. A clean slate. Dragon Ma is reluctant, but he knows he needs Fei. And Fei, in turn, sees something in Dragon Ma, something he thought didn't exist anymore. Someone who still believes in honor. Their alliance sets the stage for a secret raid on one of Sammo's warehouses. It's one of the film's most exhilarating set pieces. The team infiltrates under cover of night, navigating tight corridors and dodging watchmen. When the alarm is finally raised, the quiet tension explodes into chaos. Gunfire, fistfights, explosions. Dragon Ma goes head-to-head with a towering pirate enforcer in a scene that showcases not only his agility, but his creativity, using ropes, barrels, even the warehouse architecture itself to fight back. They barely escape, but the raid yields valuable evidence. Maps, coded logs, and a ledger listing bribes paid to high-ranking officials. It's the smoking gun. But before they can bring it to light, The documents are stolen in a double-cross that leaves one of Dragon Ma's closest allies wounded. It's a gut-punch moment, one that reminds the audience that no victory comes without sacrifice. And it sets up the stakes for what's to come. As the first half of the film draws to a close, Dragon Ma stands alone at the docks, watching the sea. The rain has stopped, but storm clouds gather on the horizon. He knows now that the enemy is bigger than he imagined. The pirates are only part. Dragon Ma stands at the edge of the dock, the weight of betrayal heavy on his shoulders. The stolen documents that could have exposed the rot within the government are gone, snatched away before they could be used to bring justice. One of his men lies in critical condition. Trust is running thin, and the very institution he fought so hard to uphold seems determined to bury the truth. He looks out at the dark sea. The pirates are still out there, stronger than ever, and now he knows just how deep their reach goes. But if the system won't fight back, Dragon Ma will. Fueled by frustration, grief, and a relentless sense of duty, he goes underground. He can't rely on his badge anymore. It means nothing when the people behind it are complicit. He sheds the uniform and operates as a ghost, moving through the city in shadows, gathering information from old contacts and forgotten allies. Fei becomes his unlikely partner in this crusade. Their dynamic evolves. What began as reluctant cooperation starts to resemble something closer to friendship. Fei, who once only looked out for himself, begins to risk more, dig deeper, offer help without demanding payment. It's subtle, but it matters. Their banter sharpens into camaraderie, and the line between outlaw and hero begins to blur. Inspector Tsu, once rigid and dismissive, starts to change too. He's seen the same cracks in the system. He's watched evidence disappear, watched honest men be silenced or reassigned. Quietly, he begins helping Dragon Ma from within, slipping him information, redirecting patrols, delaying orders. He never says it out loud, but the message is clear. He believes in the cause now. This trio, Dragon Ma, Fei, and Tsu, becomes the soul of the second half. Three men from different worlds, once divided, now unified by a shared enemy and an impossible mission. That mission leads them back to the sea. After interrogating a corrupt harbor official and intercepting coded transmissions, they discover the pirates are planning their biggest operation yet. A full-scale raid on a British naval arsenal. The goal is more than just weapons. It's a message. Sammo wants to prove that no one, not even the colonial powers, can touch him. If he succeeds, his control over the South China Sea will be absolute. Dragon Ma knows they can't stop him alone. But they don't have to. In a brilliant sequence, Dragon Ma, Fei, and Tsu move through the underbelly of the city, gathering allies from all sides. Former Marines, disenfranchised officers, street informants, even dock workers and gamblers who've had enough of the pirate extortion. There's a rallying moment that feels earned, not forced. Each man who joins them isn't doing it for glory. They're doing it because they finally see someone willing to fight back when everyone else gave up. It's not an army. It's a rebellion. The night of the raid arrives, and the film shifts gears. Everything that's been building, the alliances, the training, the risks, culminates in one of the most iconic and elaborate action set pieces in Jackie Chan's entire career. The assault on Sammo's stronghold is masterfully paced. It begins with stealth, the team navigating through dense jungle and narrow cliff paths under the cover of darkness. There's tension in every step, the sound design capturing the soft crunch of boots on gravel, the distant splash of waves against rock. When they breach the outer walls, all hell breaks loose. Explosions light up the sky. Cannons roar. Pirates swarm. But this isn't chaos for chaos's sake. The action is orchestrated like a ballet, every move, every punch, every fall designed to escalate both the stakes and the emotion. Dragon Ma leads the charge, of course, but he's not invincible. He gets knocked down, disarmed, outnumbered. What makes these fights so compelling is that they always feel like a struggle. He has to think, adapt, improvise. At one point, he uses a broken oar, a coil of rope, and a swinging lantern as makeshift weapons, turning the very environment into his ally. Jackie Chan's genius shines here, not just as a fighter, but as a storyteller who uses action to reveal character. Every injury Dragon Ma suffers, every blow he dodges or takes, shows his determination not to quit, no matter how much it costs him. Fei, meanwhile, takes on a mission of his own, sabotaging the pirates' munitions depot. It's a perfect blend of comedy and danger. He fumbles through traps, gets stuck in a barrel, talks his way past guards with hilarious accents, and then, just when it seems he'll blow his cover, turns deadly serious. He plants the explosives, times the detonation, and takes down half the fortress in one thunderous blaze. In that moment, Fei becomes more than comic relief. He becomes a hero. Inspector Tsu holds the rear, coordinating the escape routes and ensuring reinforcements can arrive if needed. He's no longer hiding behind regulations. He's in the thick of it, fighting shoulder to shoulder with the men he once tried to avoid. His arc, quiet but powerful, shows how courage sometimes comes not in bursts, but in steady resolve. Then comes the final confrontation. Dragon Ma makes his way to the heart of the fortress, where Sammo waits. No tricks, no guards, just the two of them. It's not a flashy fight. It's brutal, intimate, almost silent. Sammo is older but stronger than he looks, precise and merciless. Dragon Ma is younger, faster, but battered from the battle. The fight stretches across multiple levels: a collapsing stairwell, a swinging bridge, a cargo hold full of chained prisoners. Every part of the fortress becomes a weapon, a trap, or a hazard. It's not just strength that wins this fight, it's heart. Dragon Ma takes everything Sammo throws at him and refuses to back down. The final blow isn't a flashy kick or a death-defying stunt. It's a simple, exhausted punch that knocks Sammo into the sea below. Not triumphant. Not clean. Just enough. And that's what makes it hit harder. The aftermath is quiet. The fortress burns behind them. Prisoners are freed. The remaining pirates scatter. Ships arrive in the distance, responding to a signal flare fired by Tsu. Reinforcements that once would have ignored the call now come at full speed, too late to claim credit, but just in time to see who truly turned the tide. Back in Hong Kong, the fallout begins. The documents stolen earlier are recovered, hidden by Fei in a gambling den's false wall. The corrupt officials are exposed. Some resign quietly. Others disappear under the pretense of reassignment. There's no dramatic trial, no sweeping reform. Just a slow, quiet shift. But that's what real change often looks like. Dragon Ma is offered a promotion, a medal, and a new post. He declines them all. He returns to the waterfront, watching the same harbor where it all began. Fei joins him, casually chewing on sugarcane, and jokes about getting a reward. Zhu arrives too, in uniform, standing beside them, not above them. The three men don't say much. They don't have to. There's an understanding now, forged in fire and blood. They did what had to be done. And for once, that was enough. The film ends not on a rousing speech or a dramatic flourish, but on a single, lingering shot of Dragon Ma walking into the crowd, disappearing among the people he fought to protect. No spotlight, no applause. Just a man, ordinary and extraordinary, choosing to keep moving forward. And that's the heart of Project A. It's not just about daring stunts and perfectly timed punches, though those are here in abundance. It's about the struggle of a good man in a broken system, the uneasy alliances between right and wrong, and the small victories that ripple into something larger. Every twist, every betrayal, every explosion serves a deeper purpose, to challenge our idea of heroism. Is it found in medals, or in persistence? In power, or in principle? Dragon Ma doesn't win because he's stronger. He wins because he refuses to let fear, politics, or pride stop him from doing what's right. Because he never stops trying, even when it seems impossible. And that's why Project A still resonates after all these years. It's not just one of Jackie Chan's greatest films. It's one of action cinema's most heartfelt, thrilling, and enduring stories. A perfect blend of history, humor, heroism, and heart. One that reminds us, in every punch and pratfall, that sometimes, the hardest fights aren't the ones you see, but the ones inside the system and inside ourselves. And that is the full force of Project A's second half. where everything explodes into motion, but every moment matters. Every risk is earned. And every character, flawed, funny, fearless, comes together to make a story that still leaves you breathless. At the center of Project A is a man who runs toward chaos when others turn away. A man named Dragon Ma. Played by Jackie Chan at the height of his creative power, Dragon Ma is more than just a sergeant in the Marine Police. He's the pulse of the film, a man whose very existence in this corrupt, crumbling system feels like rebellion. From the first moment we meet him, sprinting through the busy streets of Hong Kong, leaping over barrels, ducking under carts, chasing down thieves not because it's his duty, but because it's right, we know exactly who he is. He doesn't just enforce the law. He believes in it. But Jackie Chan doesn't play him like a larger-than-life action figure. He plays him like a man. And that's what makes the character unforgettable. Dragon Ma is principled, yes, but is also impulsive, stubborn, and often overestimates what one man can do. He's frequently bruised, outnumbered, and forced to improvise. Jackie infuses him with relentless energy, but also vulnerability. There's a moment in the middle of the film, after he's been betrayed, when he just stares at his torn-up badge, not in anger, but in quiet disappointment. You can see it in his eyes. This isn't the world he thought he was fighting for. That's the moment you realize Dragon Ma isn't just physically brave, he's emotionally resilient. And Jackie brings that to life not through dialogue, but through movement, timing, and stillness. It's the kind of performance that never shouts for attention but holds it completely. And then there's Fei, played by Sammo, in a role that's equal parts mischief and heart. Fei is the kind of character who thrives in the cracks between law and crime. A thief, a gambler, a hustler. He lives on instinct and charm. He's introduced in classic Sammo fashion, pulling a con in a crowded gambling hall, making you laugh one minute and raising suspicion the next. But where Fei truly comes alive is in his contradictions. He mocks Dragon Ma's ideals, but he respects them too. He runs from danger, but always circles back when it really matters. His transformation over the course of the film is subtle, gradual, and beautifully played. Sammo doesn't play Fei as a sidekick, he gives him agency. Fei makes choices, suffers consequences, and, in the end, proves that even someone who's lived in the shadows can choose to step into the light. There's one scene that says everything about his growth. After pulling off a critical mission, he stands beside Dragon Ma, not asking for credit or payment, just present. For a man who's always been about survival, that moment of silent solidarity hits harder than any punch. Inspector Tsu, brought to life by the acrobatically gifted Yuen Biao, is the third cornerstone of this trio. Tsu is order personified, sharp, disciplined, and immaculately put together. He represents the structure of the land police, the rulebook approach to justice, and his early clashes with Dragon Ma are driven more by philosophy than personal dislike. He sees Ma as reckless, unprofessional, a threat to the hierarchy he believes in. But over time, as corruption exposes itself and bureaucracy fails to act, Tsu starts to question everything he's built his identity on. Yuen Biao plays him with a quiet intensity. He's not the loudest, not the flashiest, but his body language speaks volumes. There's a fantastic moment when he silently decides to help Dragon Ma, disobeying direct orders and covering for his rogue operation. No dramatic speech, no music swell, just a nod, a movement, and suddenly he's all in. Tsu's growth is that of a man learning to trust his instincts, to break free from the cage of his uniform, and to recognize that sometimes justice lives outside the lines. What makes this trio so powerful isn't just the individual arcs. It's the way they orbit each other, crash, and ultimately align. Their relationship is the emotional spine of Project A. They represent three very different answers to the same question. How do you stand for something in a world that's falling apart? Dragon Ma fights. Fei adapts. Tsu obeys. But by the end, all three find a shared answer. You don't stand alone. Beyond these three, the film is filled with colorful secondary characters who each bring their own flavor, humor, and tension to the story. There's the portly, easily flustered police commissioner, played with delightful irony. He's not evil, just cowardly and overly concerned with appearances. His primary motivation is keeping the colonial administration happy, which often means ignoring real problems. But he's not a caricature. He represents the many layers of systemic failure, where inaction is rewarded and initiative punished. Watching him try to justify the Marine Police's shutdown is as frustrating as it is entertaining, and it highlights just how isolated Dragon Ma really is in the early parts of the film. Then there's Sammo, the ghostly presence that haunts the narrative until he finally steps into the light. As the pirate lord, he's a masterclass in restrained menace. He doesn't scream or posture. He calculates. He listens. He watches. And when he speaks, it's with quiet confidence. The actor, Dick Wei, plays him with a cold elegance that makes him more than just a villain. He becomes a force of nature. You understand why people follow him, why he inspires fear. He's built an empire not just on violence, but on precision. His few direct scenes are electric. When he punishes a subordinate by calmly having him executed, it's more chilling than 100 gunshots. Sammo is the anti-Dragon Ma, where Ma fights for people, Sammo fights for power. And when they finally clash, it feels like more than a duel. It's ideology versus domination. Among the more comedic additions is a collection of Dragon Ma's former Marine officers, each with distinct personalities. They're not deeply explored, but they matter. They add texture, warmth, and stakes to the mission. You feel their loyalty, their humor, their loss. When one of them is wounded during the warehouse ambush, the pain isn't just Dragon Ma's, it's ours. They remind us that heroes don't act alone. They act for the people beside them. Even the extras in Project A, the street vendors, the bar patrons, the gambling den operators, are memorable, often played by seasoned stunt performers who bring every scene to life. These characters create a living, breathing Hong Kong that feels more like a character than a setting. Every alley feels walked on, every room lived in. It's this layered world-building through character that gives Project A its soul. And then we come to Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuen Biao, not just as actors, but as collaborators. Their real-life friendship bleeds into every scene. You can feel the trust in their stunts, the timing in their dialogue, the invisible rhythm they share when moving through fight sequences. It's no coincidence that their chemistry on screen is so kinetic. It comes from decades of working together, training together, building Hong Kong action cinema from the ground up. Watching them is like watching a band jam live. There's improvisation, challenge, and joy. Take the legendary bicycle chase, for example. It's pure Jackie Chan chaos, acrobatic, funny, dangerous, and yet it's built entirely around character. Dragon Ma doesn't ride like a stuntman. He rides like a man trying to survive, to catch up, to outwit. That's Jackie's genius, making us feel the story through the action. And Faye, popping up during the chase, turns it into a dance of betrayal and rescue. Every move tells us something about who they are. The beauty of Project A is that character never takes a back seat to spectacle. Even at its most explosive, it never forgets whose story it's telling. And by the time the final battle rages inside Sammo's fortress, we aren't just rooting for victory. We're invested in what victory means to these characters. Dragon Ma fights not for revenge, but for redemption, of his unit, his ideals, maybe even the broken system itself. Faye fights to prove he's more than a street hustler. Su fights because he finally realizes law means nothing without justice. Their battles are personal, and that's what elevates every punch, every fall, every scar. In the end, Project A doesn't resolve its characters with fanfare. It lets them be. Dragon Ma refuses a medal and returns to the streets. Faye cracks a joke but walks beside him instead of running ahead. Su straightens his uniform and chooses to stay, no longer just a cog in the machine, but a man who chose this path. That kind of resolution is rare in action films. There's no freeze-frame triumph. No thunderous declaration. Just three men who fought the good fight, and now walk quietly into whatever comes next. And that, more than anything, is what makes these characters linger long after the credits roll. They're not just vehicles for action. They're people. Flawed, funny, fearless, and profoundly human. Through them, Project A becomes more than a film. It becomes a story of courage in the face of silence, of friendship where none should exist, and of the quiet heroism of not giving up, no matter how impossible the odds. Let me know if you'd like to follow this with a themes and symbolism breakdown, or a behind-the-scenes legacy segment next. Projector, 1983, is a cinematic tapestry woven with rich storytelling, dynamic characters, and a plethora of hidden details and Easter eggs that reward the keen-eyed viewer. These subtle nods, references, and symbolic elements not only enrich the viewing experience but also pay homage to various aspects of film history, pop culture, and the filmmaker's personal touches. Foreshadowing and symbolism. From the opening sequence, Projector immerses viewers in a world where every detail serves a purpose. The film's title card, emblazoned with a bold A, is more than a mere label. It symbolizes the protagonist's allegiance to the Marine Police and their unwavering commitment to justice. This emblematic A becomes a recurring motif, subtly reinforcing the film's central themes of honor and duty. Early in the narrative, Dragon Ma, Jackie Chan, engages in a rooftop chase that culminates in a daring escape. This sequence is meticulously crafted to echo the film's opening, creating a cyclical structure that emphasizes the relentless pursuit of justice. The repetition of this chase not only showcases Dragon Ma's dedication, but also serves as a visual metaphor for the continuous struggle against corruption and adversity. Cultural and cinematic references. Projector is a treasure trove of cultural and cinematic allusions. The film's portrayal of the Marine Police, with their distinctive uniforms and hierarchical structure, draws inspiration from classic westerns, particularly those of the 1950s and 1960s. The protagonist's unwavering commitment to justice mirrors the stoic heroes of these films, creating a bridge between Eastern and Western cinematic traditions. The film also pays homage to the swashbuckling adventures of the past. The climactic battle atop a clock tower, with its intricate pulley systems and daring stunts, is reminiscent of Errol Flynn's pirate escapades. This sequence not only nods to classic adventure tales but also highlights the film's seamless blend of choreography and storytelling. Hidden details and Easter eggs. For the attentive viewer, Projector offers a plethora of hidden details and Easter eggs. Asterisk the Pirate's Code. In a pivotal scene, Dragon Ma encounters a pirate who, before engaging in combat, recites a code of honor. This code is a direct reference to the Pirate Code from the 1950 film Treasure Island, showcasing the filmmaker's affection for classic pirate lore. Asterisk the Mysterious Portrait. In the background of the Marine Police headquarters, a portrait of a stern-looking officer hangs prominently. This officer bears a striking resemblance to a young Sammo Hung, suggesting a playful self-reference and a nod to the film's co-director. Asterisk the Clock Tower Mechanism. The intricate clock tower mechanism plays a pivotal role in the film's climax. Upon closer inspection, the gears and levers resemble the inner workings of a traditional film projector, symbolizing the passage of time and the enduring nature of cinematic storytelling. Asterisk the Hidden Cameo. During the bustling market scene, a vendor can be seen selling magic beans. This is a subtle nod to the classic tale of Jack and the Beanstalk, drawing parallels between Dragon Ma's ascent in the fight against corruption and Jack's literal climb to a better life. Intertextual connections. Projector is rich with intertextual references that deepen the narrative. Asterisk the silent film homage. In one scene, Dragon Ma engages in a slapstick chase reminiscent of Charlie Chaplin's antics. The exaggerated expressions and physical comedy pay tribute to the silent film era, highlighting the timeless nature of visual storytelling. Asterisk the opera performance. Midway through the film, a Cantonese opera performance serves as both a plot device and a cultural reference. The opera's tale of betrayal and redemption mirrors the film's themes, and the lead actress's costume bears a striking resemblance to that of a character from the 1960 film The Queen of Black Magic, linking the two narratives. Asterisk the Mahjong game. In a tense scene, characters engage in a game of mahjong. The arrangement of the tiles subtly forms the character A, reinforcing the film's title and the protagonist's commitment to their cause. Behind-the-scenes Easter eggs. Beyond the screen, Projector is peppered with behind-the-scenes Easter eggs that offer insight into the filmmaker's camaraderie and shared history. Asterisk the director's chair. In several scenes, a director's chair emblazoned with the name Yuen can be spotted. This is a playful nod to Yuen Biao, one of the film's co-directors and a close collaborator of Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung. The crew cameos. Members of the stunt and production crew make brief appearances throughout the film, often in humorous roles. These cameos foster a sense of community and acknowledge the collective effort that brought the film to life. Conclusion. Project A is a cinematic mosaic, rich with hidden details, cultural references, and symbolic elements that invite viewers to look beyond the surface. These Easter eggs and subtle nods not only enhance the storytelling but also celebrate the filmmaker's reverence for cinematic history and their shared journey. For those willing to delve deeper, the film offers a treasure trove of insights, making each viewing a new adventure in discovery. In Project A, 1983, pivotal scenes unfold with such intensity and precision that they transcend mere plot mechanics, becoming emotional and thematic landmarks that resonate deeply with the audience. Each sequence is meticulously crafted, not only to advance the narrative but to immerse viewers in a world where action and emotion intertwine seamlessly. The film opens with a chaotic barroom brawl between the Marine Police and the regular police, setting the tone for the ensuing mayhem. This isn't just a fight, it's a microcosm of the institutional rivalry and the personal stakes that will define the characters' journeys. The slapstick humor and rapid choreography inject energy into the scene, making it both entertaining and thematically rich. As the story progresses, Dragon Ma's, Jackie Chan, fall from the clock tower becomes a defining moment. This stunt, inspired by Harold Lloyd's Safety Last, is not merely a spectacle. It's a manifestation of Dragon's commitment and the physical manifestation of his internal struggles. The perilous descent, culminating in a head-first landing, underscores the film's exploration of sacrifice and resilience. The inclusion of outtakes during the end credits further humanizes the characters, reminding viewers of the real risks involved in such feats. The bicycle chase through narrow alleyways serves as another critical juncture. Beyond its comedic value, it symbolizes Dragon's relentless pursuit of justice amidst a city that constantly challenges him. The sequence's frenetic pace and escalating obstacles mirror Dragon's escalating challenges, making it a visual metaphor for his journey. The final confrontation with the pirate leader, San Pao, Dick Wei, is the culmination of the film's thematic exploration. The trio of Dragon, Inspector Hong, Yuen Biao, and Fei, Sammo Hung, facing off against San Pao is not just a battle of physical prowess but a clash of ideologies. San Pao's imposing presence and theatrical flair contrast sharply with the protagonist's camaraderie and determination. The fight choreography, marked by rapid exchanges and strategic maneuvers, reflects the character's growth and unity. The eventual defeat of San Pao, using a grenade rolled into a carpet, is both a literal and figurative explosion of the film's central themes: justice, sacrifice, and the triumph of unity over tyranny. In essence, these key moments in Project A are intricately woven into the fabric of the narrative, each contributing to the film's emotional depth and thematic resonance. They transform the film from a mere action spectacle into a poignant exploration of human resilience, camaraderie, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Project A, 1983, is a film that transcends its genre, offering a rich tapestry of themes, symbolism, and social commentary that resonate deeply with audiences. Set against the backdrop of late 19th century Hong Kong, the film delves into issues of colonialism, corruption, and the complexities of identity and loyalty. Through its narrative and visual storytelling, Project A not only entertains but also prompts reflection on societal structures and individual agency. At the heart of Project A is the theme of resistance against oppressive systems. The protagonist, Dragon Ma, embodies the struggle against both the colonial British authorities and the corrupt local police force. His journey is one of defiance, as he challenges the established order to uphold justice and integrity. This narrative mirrors historical and contemporary struggles against authoritarian regimes, highlighting the universal desire for freedom and fairness. The film also explores the theme of camaraderie and collective action. Dragon Ma's alliance with Inspector Hong and Fei underscores the importance of unity in overcoming adversity. Their collaboration transcends personal differences, emphasizing that solidarity is crucial in confronting systemic corruption and injustice. This theme resonates with real-world movements where collective effort leads to significant social change. Symbolism plays a pivotal role in conveying the film's deeper meanings. The recurring motif of the clock tower, culminating in the iconic stunt where Dragon Ma descends from its face, represents the passage of time and the inevitability of change. It signifies the collapse of outdated systems and the emergence of new paradigms. Additionally, the clock tower's prominence in the film's climax underscores the tension between tradition and progress, a central theme in the narrative. The film's portrayal of the pirate antagonist, Sammo, serves as a metaphor for the disruptive forces that challenge established norms. Sammo's flamboyant demeanor and ruthless tactics contrast sharply with Dragon Ma's disciplined approach, highlighting the clash between order and chaos. This conflict reflects the broader societal tensions between those who seek to maintain the status quo and those who advocate for transformation. Project A also offers a critique of colonialism and its impact on local communities. The depiction of British authorities as ineffectual and corrupt officials underscores the exploitation and mismanagement inherent in colonial rule. Through its narrative, the film comments on the erosion of local autonomy and the imposition of foreign control, themes that resonate with post-colonial discourse. The film's setting in late 19th century Hong Kong serves as a microcosm of the broader socio-political landscape of the time. It reflects the complexities of identity and governance in a society straddling traditional Chinese values and Western influences. This historical context enriches the film's narrative, providing a backdrop that deepens the exploration of its themes. In conclusion, Project A is a multifaceted film that offers more than just action and comedy. Through its exploration of resistance, unity, symbolism, and social critique, it provides a lens through which to examine issues of power, identity, and societal change. Its enduring relevance lies in its ability to provoke thought and discussion, making it a significant work in the cinematic landscape. Project A, 1983, stands as a testament to the seamless integration of cinematography, sound design, and visual storytelling. Jackie Chan's directorial vision is vividly realized through dynamic camera work, strategic lighting, and meticulous editing, all of which serve to enhance the narrative and immerse the audience in the film's world. From the outset, the film employs dynamic camera techniques to engage viewers. The tracking shots during action sequences, such as the bicycle chase, not only follow the characters through the bustling streets of Hong Kong but also convey a sense of urgency and excitement. This approach aligns with the concept that dynamic camera movements add depth and emotion to a scene, guiding the viewer's eye and enhancing the storytelling experience. Lighting in Project A is utilized to establish mood and emphasize thematic elements. In scenes set during the day, the natural light highlights the vibrant energy of the city, reflecting the protagonist's spirited endeavors. Conversely, nighttime sequences are illuminated with strategic lighting that casts long shadows, creating an atmosphere of suspense and highlighting the film's darker themes of piracy and corruption. This interplay of light and shadow serves as a visual metaphor for the duality of the character's world, where honor and deceit coexist. Editing in Project A is characterized by its rhythmic pacing, which aligns with the film's action comedy genre. The use of quick cuts during fight scenes amplifies the intensity, while longer takes during comedic moments allow the actors' performances to resonate. This balance ensures that the audience remains engaged, experiencing the full spectrum of emotions the film offers. The strategic placement of transitions guides the viewer through the narrative, maintaining coherence while enhancing the overall cinematic experience. As we conclude our exploration of Project A, 1983, it's evident that this film is more than just a cornerstone of Hong Kong cinema. It's a vibrant tapestry woven with innovation, camaraderie, and cultural resonance. Jackie Chan's directorial debut not only redefined the action comedy genre but also left an indelible mark on global filmmaking. The film's seamless blend of martial arts and slapstick comedy set a new standard for action choreography, influencing countless filmmakers and performers. Its success at the box office, particularly in East Asia, underscored its universal appeal and the effectiveness of its storytelling. The chemistry among the cast, especially between Chan, Sammo and Yuen Biao, brought authenticity and energy to the screen, making their performances memorable and impactful. Behind the scenes, the dedication and passion of the cast and crew were palpable. The innovative use of outtakes during the end credits became a signature of Chan's films, adding a personal touch that endeared him to audiences worldwide. The film's critical acclaim, including awards for Best Action Choreography and a Best Actor nomination for Chan, further cemented its status as a cinematic masterpiece. Over time, Project A has not only entertained but also inspired. Its legacy continues to influence filmmakers and performers, serving as a benchmark for excellence in action filmmaking. The film's cultural impact, from its portrayal of 19th-century Hong Kong to its universal themes of justice and camaraderie, resonates with audiences across generations as we conclude our exploration of Project A, 1983. It's evident that this film is more than just a cornerstone of Hong Kong cinema. It's a vibrant tapestry woven with innovation, camaraderie, and cultural resonance. Jackie Chan's directorial debut not only redefined the action comedy genre but also left an indelible mark on global filmmaking. Its seamless blend of martial arts and slapstick comedy set a new standard for action choreography, influencing countless filmmakers and performers around the world. The success it enjoyed at the box office, particularly across East Asia, was a clear indication of its universal appeal and the emotional power of its storytelling. The chemistry among the cast, especially between Jackie Chan, Sammo, and Yuen Biao, added a level of authenticity that elevated the film beyond just its stunts. Their natural rapport, built from years of friendship and collaboration, translated effortlessly on screen and gave the story its beating heart. Behind the scenes, the cast's dedication was no less remarkable. The team endured physical pain, long hours, and dangerous stunts with a sense of joy and commitment that's rare even in the most passionate productions. The inclusion of bloopers and outtakes at the end of the film gave audiences a glimpse into that world, humanizing the characters, revealing the risks taken, and showcasing the humor and humility that made the whole thing work. These elements, combined with the historical context of late 19th century Hong Kong and the film's clever commentary on colonialism, corruption, and the idea of personal honor, gave Project A unique identity. It wasn't just an action film or a comedy. It was a layered narrative set against a backdrop that invited both laughter and reflection. It dared to be different, and it succeeded. Critically, the film received accolades that further cemented its place in cinematic history, including a win for Best Action Choreography at the 4th Hong Kong Film Awards and a nomination for Jackie Chan as Best Actor. These acknowledgements weren't simply about technical skill. They were about the heart, the soul, and the vision poured into every frame. And that's what audiences responded to. The reaction at the time was one of amazement and admiration. But what's even more powerful is how that respect has endured. Today, the film is not just remembered, it's revered. Generations of action stars, stunt performers, and directors cite Project A as a key influence. The techniques used in its choreography, the editing rhythms that made action sequences flow like a dance, and the careful timing of physical comedy continue to inspire and be emulated. Jackie Chan's clock tower stunt, in particular, has become legendary, a feat so daring and so skillfully executed that it's still talked about today as one of the greatest stunts in film history. But what truly sets Project A apart isn't just its technical brilliance or its bold storytelling. It's the feeling it leaves behind. The sense that you've watched something where every punch, every gag, every moment of triumph or failure came from a place of genuine love for the craft of filmmaking. It's the kind of movie that invites repeat viewings not just for the thrills, but for the charm and spirit it radiates. It's a film that makes you feel part of something, a journey not just of a hero, but of a team, of a vision, and of a time in cinema when innovation came not from spectacle alone, but from soul. As we delve deeper into the lasting impact of Project A, it becomes clear that the film's legacy is not just about its revolutionary stunts or memorable performances. It's about how it defined an era of filmmaking that would shape the action genre for years to come. This movie was far ahead of its time in terms of blending action, humor, and heartfelt storytelling, and the groundbreaking nature of its choreography, along with its infectious energy, ensured that Project A would not only be a film of its time but a timeless classic in the world of cinema. Jackie Chan, Sammo, and Yuen Biao brought a level of authenticity to their performances that few could match, making the movie not only a showcase for thrilling action but also for genuine human connection. The trio's natural chemistry, combined with their years of working together as part of the Three Dragons, allowed them to seamlessly slip into their roles, enhancing the audience's engagement with their characters. Chan's role as the earnest yet fearless Sergeant Dragon Ma encapsulated a character that was not only relatable but someone that audiences could cheer for with every action-packed scene. This connection between the characters and the audience is one of the reasons Project A resonates so deeply, even decades after its release. Furthermore, the film didn't just rely on spectacular stunts. It grounded its narrative in the spirit of camaraderie and justice, offering moments that truly made the audience invest in the stakes at hand. These character-driven beats allowed Project A to transcend the usual tropes of its genre. While the action sequences are thrilling and the humor is ever-present, it's the emotional investment in the characters that truly sets this film apart. And then there's the undeniable influence Project A had on the entire action genre. Before Project A, action films were often defined by rigid genre conventions, but this film shattered those boundaries. It broke free of the traditional action formula, blending physical comedy with martial arts in ways that were previously unseen, elevating the genre into something more than just a spectacle of punches and explosions. Jackie Chan's unique style of combining stunts with comedy and his distinct physicality became a hallmark of his filmmaking, influencing countless action stars and directors who followed in his footsteps. From Hollywood to Hong Kong, the ripple effects of Project A can be felt in the evolution of action choreography and stunt work in films from all around the world. In fact, Project A helped establish Jackie Chan as a global icon, allowing him to cross over into international markets and reach audiences far beyond Asia. His unparalleled stunt work and commitment to performing dangerous sequences without the use of doubles was something that set him apart from his contemporaries. The dedication required to pull off the jaw-dropping stunts seen in Project A paved the way for Jackie Chan's Hollywood ventures, where he would go on to further solidify his place as one of the most influential action stars in history. Beyond the box office success, the film's cultural impact was profound, inspiring generations of filmmakers and audiences alike. Project A wasn't just another action comedy. It was a film that reflected the social climate of its time, touching on themes of justice, loyalty, and personal honor. The depiction of the historical context of Hong Kong, coupled with a universal sense of right and wrong, allowed the film to resonate deeply with audiences across various cultural backgrounds. The authenticity of the film's portrayal of Hong Kong, from its vivid historical setting to the vibrant depiction of its local culture, was crucial in making the film so relatable to local audiences while still appealing to international viewers. As Project A continues to be remembered and celebrated, its significance in the broader cinematic landscape only grows. The film's inclusion in retrospectives, its influence on modern action films, and its ability to transcend cultural and temporal boundaries make it an enduring piece of cinematic history. Jackie Chan's groundbreaking stunt work, the charisma of the cast, the film's perfect blend of humor and action. These are elements that continue to captivate and inspire, even decades later. With all this in mind, Project A represents more than just a successful film. It represents a pivotal moment in cinema where boundaries were pushed, and the results forever changed the way audiences engaged with action films. Its legacy isn't just confined to its genre. It's something that has permeated mainstream culture and continues to influence filmmakers across the globe. As a touchstone for not just action comedy but for the entire martial arts genre, Project A is a film that will continue to resonate with new generations of moviegoers for many years to come. As we wrap up our deep dive into Project A, remember that this film stands as a testament to the brilliance of Jackie Chan and his collaborators. It's a cinematic journey that doesn't just entertain, but also speaks to something deeper, something that lasts beyond the screen. If you haven't yet experienced the magic of Project A, now is the time. And for those who have, perhaps it's time to revisit the movie and rediscover the joy, excitement, and inspiration that it offers. If you enjoyed this detailed exploration of Project A and its impact on film history, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It helps us keep bringing you the best content. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming deep dives into your favorite films. We've got plenty more cinematic gems to explore together, so stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you for joining me on this journey through one of the most iconic films ever made. Until next time, keep exploring the magic of cinema. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Project A, let's celebrate not just the movie itself but everything it represents. It's a film made with blood, sweat, and laughter, a creation that honors tradition while fearlessly reinventing it. If you haven't experienced it yet, do yourself a favor and give it a watch. And if you've already seen it, revisit it with fresh eyes. You might be surprised by what new gems you discover. Thank you for joining me on this cinematic journey. If you enjoyed this exploration into Project A, be sure to like this video. It really helps our channel grow and reach more film lovers like you. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the fascinating world of movies. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring the magic of cinema. In reflecting on Project A, we recognize a film that transcends its genre, offering a rich tapestry of storytelling, performance, and innovation. It's a testament to the power of cinema to entertain, inspire, and endure. If you haven't yet experienced Project A, I encourage you to watch it and witness firsthand the brilliance that Jackie Chan brought to the screen. For more in-depth analyses and discussions on cinematic masterpieces, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for our upcoming deep dives into the world of film. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Project A. Until next time, keep exploring the magic of cinema. As we continue to reflect on the monumental influence of Project A, 1983, its legacy grows even more significant when considering how it contributed to the evolution of Jackie Chan's filmography and the action genre as a whole. The film was more than just a commercial success. It marked the beginning of a new era in action filmmaking, one where the art of physical comedy and breathtaking stunts was no longer merely an afterthought, but the core of a compelling narrative. It was a shift that influenced countless films in its wake, both in Hong Kong and Hollywood. The way Chan approached Project A redefined what was possible in action cinema. While many of his contemporaries were focused on hard-hitting martial arts choreography, Jackie Chan introduced a fresh perspective. His films were about a fusion of meticulous fight choreography and humor. He was able to make martial arts feel fluid, natural, and even funny. In Project A, the sight of Chan, Yuen Biao, and Sammo Hung executing complex fight scenes with perfect timing and wit became a standard for how action sequences could be woven into the fabric of a film's emotional journey. The humor in Project A wasn't just slapstick for the sake of laughs. It was intricately tied to the action, which made the danger feel real and the comedy feel organic. Another standout feature of Project A is its approach to the action comedy genre itself. Whereas many films in the genre leaned heavily on jokes or gags, Project A made sure that the action sequences were not only thrilling but also part of the film's heart and soul. Every fight scene, every chase, and every physical gag contributed to the overall emotional arc of the characters, particularly Jackie Chan's character, Sergeant Dragon Ma. The blend of comedy and intense action created a dynamic viewing experience that kept audiences on the edge of their seats while also evoking genuine laughter. The film also stands out in how it utilized the concept of teamwork, not only within the narrative but also in the production itself. The collaboration between Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuen Biao was not just central to the film's story but also to the film's very creation. These three men, who had worked together for years, brought a sense of camaraderie that felt genuine, making their characters' bond feel incredibly authentic. The dynamic between the three friends transcended the screen, creating a palpable chemistry that infused the entire film with a warmth and energy that is rare even in the most tight-knit of cinematic productions. On a deeper level, Project A is more than just an action comedy. It serves as a testament to the power of perseverance and resilience. Jackie Chan's commitment to performing his own stunts, often risking his own safety to achieve the most thrilling and daring sequences, reflects an enduring passion for his craft. His dedication to ensuring that every stunt was executed perfectly, no matter the cost, became a trademark of his career. The film showcases this philosophy from start to finish, with every punch, leap, and crash into the wall speaking to Chan's obsession with pushing the limits of what was possible on screen. The film's success had a lasting effect on Hong Kong cinema as well. Project A helped to redefine what action films could achieve in terms of both their visual appeal and their storytelling potential. The way the film combined the aesthetics of Hong Kong's unique urban landscape with the intricate choreography of the action sequences not only made for visually stunning moments but also added authenticity to the portrayal of the film's setting. Chan's skillful integration of the city as a character within the narrative created an immersive world for the audience, with every chase or fight scene feeling like a natural extension of the city itself. It's also impossible to overlook the tremendous cultural impact of Project A in its home country, where it resonated deeply with the people of Hong Kong. The film's setting in 19th-century Hong Kong and its depiction of the struggles between law enforcement and the underworld struck a chord with local audiences, as it touched upon themes of justice, loyalty, and corruption that felt deeply personal. The audience's connection to the film wasn't just about enjoying the stunts. It was about feeling a part of the film's world, understanding the societal dynamics that drove the characters, and ultimately rooting for the triumph of good over evil. The impact of Project A continued to ripple through the years, with the film influencing generations of filmmakers both in the East and the West. Filmmakers from Quentin Tarantino to Edgar Wright have spoken about their admiration for Chan's groundbreaking work, often citing Project A as a direct influence on their own creative processes. Tarantino, in particular, has made no secret of his love for Hong Kong cinema, and the action comedy genre that Jackie Chan perfected in Project A is something that Tarantino later drew from in films like Kill Bill. As we look back on the film's release in 1983, it's clear that Project A was ahead of its time in many ways. The combination of martial arts, slapstick comedy, and heartfelt drama made it a genre-defining film, but it was also a statement on the power of storytelling and innovation in cinema. The movie's success wasn't just based on its ability to entertain. It was because it challenged conventional norms, explored new ways to tell a story, and elevated the very concept of what action films could be. Its enduring appeal, not only in Hong Kong but across the globe, speaks to its timeless qualities. The universal themes of friendship, justice, and perseverance resonate with audiences of all ages and backgrounds, ensuring that Project A remains just as relevant today as it was when it first graced the screen. Its incredible stunts and humor, along with the charming performances of its cast, continue to captivate new generations of fans, ensuring that Jackie Chan's legacy as a pioneer of action cinema endures. In conclusion, Project A is not just a film, it's a cultural touchstone. It represents the spirit of innovation, the power of teamwork, and the art of blending humor and action to create something truly memorable. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer, it's impossible not to appreciate the film's impact on the action genre and its lasting influence on both audiences and filmmakers alike. So, if you haven't yet experienced Project A, now is the perfect time to immerse yourself in its timeless thrills and infectious energy. And if you've already seen it, why not revisit this classic and rediscover the magic? Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the dive into this iconic film. And make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss another deep dive into the world of cinema. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and until next time, keep exploring the magic of film. Creating Project A, 1983, was no simple task. The film's success came not only from its dazzling stunts and action-packed sequences but also from the extraordinary dedication, passion, and resilience of its cast and crew. Behind the scenes, this film faced numerous challenges, many of which pushed the boundaries of what was possible in action filmmaking at the time. What emerged was not only a game-changing piece of cinema but a testament to the power of collaboration, creativity, and relentless determination. The story of Project A began with Jackie Chan's desire to create a film that could elevate the action comedy genre. This was the first time that Jackie had both starred in and directed a major feature, and the pressure was immense. With an ambitious vision in mind, Jackie knew he would need to push the limits of his craft and the film industry to bring his ideas to life. One of the most intriguing behind-the-scenes elements of the production was the level of risk involved, particularly with the film's stunts. Jackie was known for performing his own stunts, but Project A would test him like never before. One of the most iconic stunts in Project A is the clock tower scene. In this unforgettable moment, Jackie Chan climbs a clock tower, only to fall through the wooden platform and land with an incredible crash. The stunt was not only dangerous but involved meticulous planning, especially since Jackie performed the stunt without any safety nets. What makes this scene even more impressive is that it was not achieved through special effects or stunt doubles, but rather through sheer physical skill and courage. Jackie Chan himself has stated that during the filming of the clock tower scene, he suffered significant injuries, including a dislocated pelvis, yet he continued to push through for the sake of the film. For him, the physical pain was part of the artistry, and it added to the authenticity of the final product. But the clock tower stunt wasn't the only risky maneuver in the film. The film's action sequences were filled with breathtaking moments, many of which featured intricate fight choreography that had never been attempted before. At the time, many action films relied on quick cuts, close-ups, and tight editing to mask the physicality of the actors. But Jackie's vision for Project A was different. He wanted the action to be seen in its purest form. Long, uninterrupted takes became a hallmark of the film, allowing audiences to fully appreciate the skill and precision of the actors as they executed these complex moves. The daring stunt work required not only physical endurance but also a deep sense of trust between Jackie Chan and his fellow actors, particularly Yuen Biao and Sammo Hung. Yuen Biao, a fellow martial artist and member of the Three Dragons alongside Jackie and Sammo, was integral to the film's success. While Jackie was often the focus of the action, Yuen Biao's contributions were no less important. Known for his acrobatic fighting style, Yuen brought a different kind of energy to the film, particularly in the high-flying action scenes. He and Jackie had worked together for years and shared a bond that translated effortlessly onto the screen. What many people don't realize is that Yuen Biao suffered multiple injuries during the making of Project A, including sprained ankles and deep cuts. Despite these setbacks, he continued to push forward, displaying his remarkable physicality with each stunt. It was this kind of dedication and camaraderie among the cast that turned Project A into a triumph. While the stunts and fight choreography were central to the film, it wasn't all smooth sailing on set. One of the most unexpected challenges came from the film's production schedule. Jackie Chan and his team worked tirelessly to meet tight deadlines, often spending long days and nights filming in grueling conditions. The film's budget was relatively modest, and the production team didn't have the luxury of endless resources. Yet, this scarcity of resources only pushed them to be more inventive. For example, many of the props used in the film were either made from scratch or repurposed from previous productions. The clock tower itself, for example, was built from the ground up for the film, and the production team had to get creative with how they designed the set to allow for the high-flying action sequences to play out smoothly. The challenges weren't just physical or logistical, they were also creative. Project A was Jackie Chan's directorial debut, and with this came an immense responsibility. Jackie, known for his comedic timing and physical prowess, had to balance these elements with a compelling narrative that would resonate with audiences. The film was set in 19th-century Hong Kong, and the historical context of the time played a significant role in shaping the narrative. Jackie wanted to blend a modern sensibility with the traditional Hong Kong landscape, combining historical drama with slapstick comedy. The challenge, however, was making sure the tone didn't feel jarring or disjointed. Through a combination of meticulous planning, a talented crew, and his own vision, Jackie was able to strike the perfect balance, creating a film that felt both timeless and fresh. One of the most significant creative decisions was the inclusion of the film's iconic comedy. The humor in Project A wasn't just added for comedic relief. It was an integral part of the story and character development. Jackie's slapstick antics, including his ability to fall, stumble, and fight with a sense of comedic timing, became a trademark in his filmmaking. This comedic style blended seamlessly with the action, offering a unique contrast that made the film stand out in the action genre. Jackie's use of physical comedy, often in the form of pratfalls and exaggerated reactions, not only added humor to the intense fight scenes but also made the action feel more human and relatable. However, the film's humor wasn't always universally appreciated. Some critics initially struggled with the blend of action and comedy, with some seeing it as a distraction from the film's more serious undertones. Over time, however, audiences and critics alike began to recognize that Project A had pioneered a new type of action comedy hybrid that would go on to influence an entire genre. Jackie Chan's comedic approach was groundbreaking because it was integrated into the action itself. The physicality of his movements, combined with the humor, made the violence feel less brutal and more playful, giving the audience a sense of enjoyment even in the most intense moments. Despite its eventual success, Project A did not come without controversy. At the time of its release, Hong Kong cinema was beginning to shift, with a growing international interest in martial arts films. Project A was seen as a bridge between traditional martial arts films and more contemporary, international action films. This crossover appeal was part of what made the film so successful, but it also drew some criticism from purists within the martial arts community who believed the infusion of slapstick humor diluted the integrity of the genre. Jackie Chan, however, didn't see it that way. For him, humor and action were inseparable. His approach wasn't about mocking the martial arts genre but about making it more accessible and relatable to a wider audience. The success of Project A proved that his unique take on the genre resonated with audiences around the world, and he continued to perfect this blend of comedy and martial arts in his future works. Looking at the film's legacy, it's impossible to ignore how Project A shaped the career of Jackie Chan. The film launched him to even greater stardom and established him as a true pioneer of action cinema. His commitment to performing his own stunts, his seamless integration of humor into his fight sequences, and his ability to direct a film that balanced both the physical and emotional aspects of storytelling set a new standard for action films. This influence can still be seen in modern action movies, with many contemporary filmmakers citing Jackie Chan as a direct inspiration. The film also solidified the partnership between Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung, two of Hong Kong cinema's most iconic figures. Their collaboration on Project A was the beginning of a fruitful creative partnership that would continue to bear fruit throughout the years. Sammo, who had been a mentor to Jackie Chan early in his career, played a key role in the film's success both in front of and behind the camera. As an actor, he brought a sense of gravity to the film that perfectly complemented Jackie's lighter, more comedic approach. As a producer and fight choreographer, Sammo helped ensure that the action scenes were as meticulously crafted as the film's humor. By the time Project A was released in 1983, it was clear that this film wasn't just another action movie. It was a pioneering work that set the stage for Jackie Chan's career and the future of action filmmaking. The challenges faced during production only served to enhance the final product, and the risks taken both physically and creatively helped shape the film into the iconic piece of cinema that it is today. In the years since its release, Project A has become an enduring classic in the action genre. It has influenced countless filmmakers, action stars, and stunt performers who look to Jackie Chan as a role model for both his innovative approach to action and his tireless work ethic. And though the film was made nearly 4 decades ago, its legacy continues to inspire new generations of moviegoers and filmmakers around the world. Project A, 1983, stands as a landmark in Jackie Chan's illustrious career, blending dynamic action with comedic timing in a way that would influence the action genre for decades to come. As we analyze the key moments in the film, it becomes clear that these sequences are not just thrilling spectacles but pivotal emotional and thematic turning points. From the high-octane stunts to the lighter comedic beats, each scene serves to enrich the story and deepen the connections between characters, all while weaving in important cultural and personal themes. Let's dive into the most critical moments of Project A, exploring how they define both the film's tone and its lasting impact on viewers. The film opens with a thrilling sequence that sets the stage for what will be a blend of heart-stopping action and light-hearted comedy. Jackie Chan's character, Sergeant Dragon Ma, is introduced in a desperate situation that highlights both his charm and his naivety. Early in the film, we see Ma engage in a wild chase, displaying his skill at both hand-to-hand combat and impressive physical feats. However, what sets this action apart from typical martial arts fare is the emphasis on humor that is expertly interwoven into the sequence. The use of slapstick elements, such as Dragon Ma's exaggerated falls and clumsy moments, adds an unexpected layer to the scene. Instead of just showing off martial prowess, this sequence establishes Chan's unique ability to combine physicality with comedy, which becomes the hallmark of his career. The juxtaposition of skill and clumsiness in this opening not only sets the tone for the entire film but also foreshadows the film's central thematic motif, that heroism is not just about strength, but perseverance, resilience, and humor in the face of adversity. One of the pivotal moments of the film is the clock tower sequence, which remains one of the most iconic and dangerous stunts in cinematic history. In this scene, Dragon Ma is chased up a clock tower by a gang of villains, and after a daring fall, he lands on a pile of wooden planks. The clock tower stunt is not only a moment of physical spectacle but also represents Dragon Ma's willingness to put himself at risk for the greater good. This action isn't just about showing off Jackie Chan's physical prowess. It encapsulates the film's broader message about sacrifice and the cost of doing the right thing. When Chan falls through the wooden planks, The injury he sustains becomes symbolic of the personal price Ma is willing to pay in the pursuit of justice. The moment has a deep emotional weight, reinforcing Dragon Ma's selflessness, and it creates a crucial emotional turning point where the audience begins to see the depth of his character. At the same time, it is a breathtaking display of Jackie Chan's commitment to performing his own stunts, adding an authentic sense of danger and urgency to the scene. As we move further into the film, one of the most striking moments occurs during the confrontation between Dragon Ma and the pirates. This sequence serves as a turning point in the film's structure, bringing together the story's various narrative threads. By this point, the audience has grown accustomed to Dragon Ma's bumbling nature, which provides a comic relief. However, during the pirate attack, Dragon Ma's competence is put to the test in a way that is more emotionally charged than expected. It's here that the film shifts tone, combining both action and drama in a way that heightens the emotional stakes. The pirates' attack represents a moment of intense danger and raises the stakes for Dragon Ma and his allies, but it's also a reflection of Ma's transformation from a somewhat naive and slapstick character into someone who can stand tall in the face of real danger. The scene establishes that Dragon Ma is not just a comical hero, but one who, when push comes to shove, can rise to the occasion. This shift in Dragon Ma's development is solidified when he teams up with the other officers to confront the pirates. It's not just a battle of physical strength but of mental and emotional growth. For the first time in the movie, Dragon Ma steps into a leadership role. The way the sequence is shot and choreographed, the careful balance of fight choreography, comedic moments, and strategic action, captures Dragon Ma's evolution. The fight scene itself is packed with clever physicality, as Jackie Chan's trademark style shines through with acrobatic and inventive movements, yet the humor never fades. Dragon Ma's growth is subtle but significant, and the way the sequence culminates in his successful outwitting of the pirates reinforces the idea that intellect, teamwork, and persistence are just as important as brute strength. A particularly emotional moment arrives later in the film during the climactic battle. After a series of setbacks and challenges, the film's resolution hinges on the final confrontation, where Dragon Ma faces off against his enemies in a series of explosive, high-stakes combat sequences. As with many of Chan's films, the final fight doesn't simply serve as a spectacle of violence, but as the culmination of the characters' journeys. This sequence is imbued with a sense of payoff. The audience feels that Dragon Ma has earned his victory through grit, perseverance, and wit, not simply through sheer force. His triumph isn't just physical but emotional, as the film shows that his true victory is overcoming self-doubt and proving that even the most unlikely hero can stand tall when the stakes are highest. The relationship between Dragon Ma and his allies, particularly his dynamic with the character played by Yuen Biao, provides yet another crucial emotional thread. Their friendship is tested throughout the film, with moments of comedy that offset the more serious and dramatic beats. This friendship, however, undergoes a pivotal transformation, symbolizing the value of teamwork, loyalty, and the ways in which each character helps the other grow. In one key moment, when the group is on the verge of losing, their collective strength and camaraderie come together to face their adversaries. This not only helps them defeat the pirates but also reinforces the idea that real success is achieved through unity and mutual support, rather than individual glory. The power of collaboration is explored, showing that personal growth, while important, often depends on the relationships and teamwork that one forms along the way. In terms of thematic exploration, Project A consistently deals with the tension between individualism and community, particularly through its central hero, Dragon Ma. At its core, the film is about a character who must come to terms with his personal flaws and learn to rely on others in order to succeed. Early in the film, Dragon Ma is portrayed as a bumbling yet well-meaning individual, isolated from others by his pride and sense of independence. Over time, however, he learns to trust his friends, allies, and even strangers, realizing that his success depends not only on his own abilities but also on the support he receives from others. This theme culminates in the climactic battle, where Dragon Ma's growth is fully realized. It's a triumph of personal development, one that feels earned, organic, and satisfying. The humor woven throughout Project A also plays an essential role in how the story is experienced by the audience. Jackie Chan's ability to blend physical comedy with intense action ensures that the tone never becomes too dark or oppressive. Even in the most harrowing moments, there's an underlying sense of levity, which creates a dynamic viewing experience. The frequent gags and pratfalls serve not only as moments of comic relief but also as a means of making the stakes feel more human. The audience never feels completely overwhelmed by the action. Instead, they are invited to laugh, cheer, and enjoy the journey alongside the characters. This sense of balance is a major strength of the film and allows for a more complete emotional engagement. In addition to the character development and the shifting tone, the film's technical achievements also contribute significantly to its impact. The action scenes, which seamlessly blend fight choreography, acrobatics, and humor, create a rhythm that builds tension while offering release through comedic beats. Each fight or chase sequence is designed not only to showcase physical prowess but also to reinforce the character's emotions and relationships. The way the camera moves in these sequences, often following the action with long, uninterrupted takes, allows the audience to fully appreciate the fluidity and inventiveness of Jackie Chan's stunts. This stylistic choice enhances the viewer's engagement with the film, immersing them in the experience of watching the characters grow and evolve through their physical and emotional trials. Ultimately, the key moments in Project A work in tandem to create a film that resonates emotionally and thematically, elevating it beyond just a typical action comedy. Through masterful fight choreography, character-driven humor, and the central arc of Dragon Ma's growth, the film provides an immersive viewing experience that balances thrills with heartfelt moments. By the time the credits roll, the audience feels as though they've witnessed not only an incredible spectacle but also a meaningful story about heroism, friendship, and personal transformation. This combination of thrilling action and emotional depth is what makes Project A true classic in the world of cinema.